Taking game journalists seriously is a near impossible task simply because they're all clowns. They love to be the center of attention and they don't care if it's negative or positive as long as the spotlight is on them. And Alyssa Mercante has decided she wants to be the face of Gamergate 2.0 when it comes to defending narrative consultation companies and the game developers within the industry who she has shilled for years at this point. And now that she's put out her Shadow of the Erd Tree review, she is getting absolutely roasted for filling it with commentary about how she has been the victim of a quote, near endless harassment campaign. I have a few things to show off, but if you enjoy the content I create, follow me on social media, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, if she simply had put up a Shadow of the Erd Tree review talking about the game, I wouldn't have anything to talk about in this video. It would not be made, but instead she decided to fill this review with commentary about how she's been a victim for months now, and there are angry men on the internet who are targeting her. So she's really putting the spotlight on herself. She claims she doesn't want all of this negative attention, but she's doing things in order to attain it. But as you can see, this is the Kotaku review, Alyssa Mercante, 3 hours ago, and it's hilarious to read because she basically admits she's not a real gamer. She doesn't particularly like Souls-likes. She's not very good at them. And of course, then there's the harassment commentary. It says, hours into playing Shadow of the Erd Tree, the massive singular expansion for From Software's award-winning 2022 action RPG, I realized it's paralleling my life. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to sit here and read about you. We want to hear about Elden Ring. We want to hear about the 100 new weapons. We want to hear about the new classes that you can create. We want to hear about the boss fights. We want to hear about how the performance was for you while you were playing it, not about your life. It says, until Elden Ring, I avoided Souls-likes, yeah, because they kick your butt, and she clearly is not a big fan of video games in general. She said, until Elden Ring, I avoided Souls-likes. Their punishing difficulty and rigid boundaries frustrated me immensely. I hit a wall in Dark Souls Remastered and gave up, barely touched Bloodborne, and avoided Sekiro like it was a poison swamp. If you don't know the genre, then you shouldn't be the one reviewing one of the largest video game releases within it. She can't compare it to Bloodborne. She can't compare it to Sekiro. She can't compare it to these other games because she simply hasn't played them in totality. And I'm not talking like 100% runs, fighting every single boss, but at the same time, she should have at least been able to play through them, the main bosses, once, and she didn't. It's like she wants a pat on the back for playing a difficult game, when there are millions of people who would love to be able to sit and write about video games all day, every day, but instead, again, she's making it about herself. She said, in the real world, I have mostly avoided the ire of homophobes and misogynists in the games industry, writing an article that temporarily shakes them up before fading into relative obscurity once Reddit refreshes. Oh, so she's just simply saying that she has faced criticism for her awful takes regarding video games. And instead of simply saying, hey, listen, I get it, there are people that are heated over the topics I discuss, she's crying and saying, oh, they're all homophobes and misogynists. Maybe they're just people who are simply heated because we have activists like you trying to infiltrate and destroy the industry we care about. We love video games. Clearly, she doesn't. It says, but now I am willingly subjecting myself to this adventure, running headfirst into a proverbial wall just to shake it off, back up, and run into it again. That's life. Sometimes life kicks your butt and you have to get back up again, even if you don't want to. It's like she wants a therapy session. Like, this is her platform to talk about how people have been mean to her on the internet. Newsflash, that's just how the internet is. And yes, sometimes people take things too far. I totally understand that. But in an article where you're supposed to be reviewing a DLC expansion, this isn't the time to talk about it. She said, I've spent nearly 4 months as the subject of a near endless harassment campaign. It feels like logging on for a day of work is akin to walking through a boss door over and over again. You're supposed to be writing video game articles. You're supposed to be playing video games. You're supposed to be walking through boss doors every single day. That is your job. So you're basically just proving you're bad at it and you don't actually play video games. Thanks for confirming it. She said, before I even make the connection between my real world and FromSoft's game world, I subconsciously attack Shadow of the Erdtree with dogged determination as if besting a boss would bleed into my everyday and imbue me with a higher tier of self-confidence, much like how it feels to receive near endless hate comments from anonymous accounts or angry middle-aged men. I face Shadow of the Erdtree entirely alone, of course, completely ignoring the fact that she has faced heavy criticism over the past few months from female content creators as well, like myself. She doesn't want to put that into the article because that doesn't fit her narrative. Oh, both genders are attacking me, men and women are not very happy with what I'm saying. No, no, no. Let's just say angry middle-aged men because that sounds better for my victim mentality. She goes on to say that the size of the game floors her. She finds map fragments for this new realm during her playthrough and realized just how huge the Shadowlands are, how much it dwarfs any other piece of FromSoft DLC, and this probably is true that it is going to be the largest DLC they've ever created, but if you look at the base game, it was absolutely massive. It was not a, small game by any means, and she doesn't really bring that up. She said the DLC could be its own standalone title and still win Game of the Year. She says that she disliked the map, how it can be confusing, and she'd love more boss cutscenes. But if you really look at the base game, not every single boss had cutscenes, only the great bosses. So it makes sense that there wouldn't be tons of cutscenes. And, this is her review, guys. I mean, her review is again filled with, you know, commentary about how she's never really played these games. She tries to talk about some of the new features that they add, but honestly, it just comes across as really shallow. And of course, I didn't expect anything better from Alyssa except for the narcissism that is just clearly prominent in her writing and on her social media. And since she had posted this, she has been getting absolutely roasted. I know I had just recently posted a tweet thread about this, and it's already almost at 1,000 likes because people are pointing and laughing at her. Endyman saying, Kotaku writer trying to write a review about video games without getting political, challenge impossible. John Della Rose, everything about the woke is just me, me, me. It's narcissism under the guise of political activism. The Alyssa Mercante parody account, things I took from this review. She's a victim. She sucks at Souls likes. She's really a victim. Has she mentioned harassment yet? But what was the DLC? No clue. People are saying that she's a fake gamer girl, the site is just her personal blog now, and that sounds more like I'm bad at playing games so I avoided them, and then put in words like homophobes and misogynists to distract from the fact that Alyssa is not even a real gamer, which I totally and completely agree with. Again, I absolutely love Elden Ring. I've got the guides behind me. I've got the art books. I am super, super pumped for Shadow of the Erdtree, and I will be streaming it on release day and over the weekend. So if you're interested in a non-biased playthrough and you actually want to see what the game offers and don't want to hear about homophobes and misogynists being mean on the internet, allegedly, make sure to stop by the live streams. I'm very excited. I'm super hyped, like most people are, and I expect to see more articles coming out from Alyssa regarding this alleged harassment campaign. It seems like she's really trying to milk this angle to get her followers on social media up and continue to grasp at relevancy. Only time will tell, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.